So let's talk about alum. You know, Fit Carry. You've probably seen that little white stone sitting in a barber shop, right? Just a simple aftershave. But what if I told you that's like using a supercomputer just to check the time?
Yeah, seriously. Don't make the mistake of thinking this cheap little stone is just ordinary. Because this humble thing, which costs next to nothing, might just hold the key to solving dozens of common health and beauty problems. We're talking about saving you potentially thousands of rupees on expensive products.
And just look at this list. It's wild. We're covering everything from wrinkles and acne scars to persistent body odor and even more intimate issues like UTIs and bleeding gums. The sheer range of what this one stone can do is honestly mind-boggling. Okay, so what is this stuff, really? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and break down the science and the history behind this simple-looking stone. You've got to understand how it works to believe what it can do.
Well, its chemical name is potassium aluminum sulfate. And if that sounds kind of familiar, it's because you've probably seen it on the ingredients list of your skin lightening creams or even some medicines. It's a totally natural salt stone, kind of like rock salt, and people have been using it to purify water for thousands of years. It really has two superpowers. It's a fantastic antibacterial, and it's a natural astringent, which just means it tightens up tissues. That right there, that's the secret sauce.
All right, let's jump into its most popular use. Skincare. Think of this as the ultimate, affordable hack to replace a whole cabinet full of pricey serums and fancy creams. You know how frustrating hyperpigmentation can be, right? Those stubborn dark spots, uneven skin tone, and the marks that acne leaves behind long after it's gone. Well, this is exactly where Alum is supposed to shine. So how do you actually use it? It's ridiculously easy. All you need is some alum powder, you can buy it or just grind up a stone yourself, and some fuller's earth, multani mitti. Mix those together with a little rose water until you get a nice paste. That's pretty much it. Okay, stop. Pay attention to this, because this is the single most important part, the ratio. It has to be 1 part alum to 4 parts clay. I'm going to say it again, 1 to 4. Using more alum won't make it work faster. This specific ratio is the sweet spot for it to be effective and safe. Now you just gently apply that paste to the areas you want to treat, let it dry for about 20 minutes, and then just wash it off with plain water. That's it. Do this maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Now, some people say they see a difference in just a week, but for others, it could take a couple of months, so you gotta be a little patient with it. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but my skin is super sensitive. What if this irritates it? And that's a totally fair question. While alum apparently works for like 99% of people, what about that other 1%? Well, there's actually an ancient Ayurvedic trick for that. It's a purification process that creates something called spatika basma. You just heat the alum stone on a pan until it melts into a liquid. Then you turn off the heat, let it cool down and become solid again, and crush that into a powder. This purified version is said to be even more powerful, but at the same time, much gentler. It's perfect for anyone with really reactive skin. Okay, moving on. What about things like fine lines or spiky skin or large pores? For that, there's an even easier method. You just wet your face, wet the alum stone, and then gently rub it over your skin for a minute or 2. And here's why that works so well. Remember how I said alum is a powerful astringent? Well, that means it literally causes your skin tissues to contract and tighten up. This gives you that instant feeling of tighter skin, it makes pores look smaller, and over time it can even reduce the look of wrinkles. It's the exact same reason it stops a shaving cut from bleeding. All right, let's switch gears and talk about how this same stone can act like a natural shield for your personal hygiene. We're talking about a healthy, natural replacement for a lot of the chemical-heavy products we use every single day. This right here is a game changer. See, most antiperspirants work by plugging up your sweat glands. That's not great because it stops your body's natural detox process and can cause inflammation and even those dark underarm patches. Alum is different. It doesn't stop you from sweating. It lets your body do its thing. What it does do is kill the bacteria that cause the smell in the first place. It doesn't mask the problem, it actually solves it. And its use goes way beyond just your underarms. We're talking total body hygiene here. You can throw a bit of alum powder in your bath to deal with general body odor, soaking your feet in alum water. Goodbye foot odor. It's even suggested that using alum-infused water for intimate hygiene can help keep infections at bay, something doctors sometimes recommend. But wait, there's more. The applications actually go even deeper than the skin.
let's look at some of the really surprising medicinal uses that can contribute to your overall wellness. And check this out. It just keeps getting more interesting. A paste made of alum and coconut oil for cracked heels, the purified basma version for eczema. They even mention internal uses, like mixing a tiny bit of basma with honey for a dry cough or in water for issues like piles. It's basically a Swiss Army knife for your home remedy kit. Okay, this one might be my favorite. You can forget all those expensive alcohol-filled mouthwashes. Just gargling with a little alum powder mixed in warm water can help fight bad breath, prevent cavities, calm down bleeding gums, and even heal mouth ulcers. It just wipes out all the bad bacteria. Simple as that. All right, before we finish up, let's just go over a couple of last-minute practical tips. This is the important stuff to make sure you're using it right and staying safe. So you go to the market and you might see two different kinds of alum, a red one and a white one. And you're probably going to wonder, okay, which one am I supposed to get? The answer is super simple. It doesn't really matter. The best way to think about it is like the difference between regular rock salt and that fancy Himalayan pink salt. The red alum just has a few extra trace minerals, but they are both incredibly effective. So honestly, just grab whichever one is easiest for you to find. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It captures that common story of someone trying one expensive cream after another for something like cracked heels, and nothing works, only to find that this simple, ridiculously cheap stone was the answer the whole time. Which really just leaves us with this one last question to think about. In a world that's always pushing complex creams and expensive new solutions, is it possible that the simplest, most powerful answers have actually been hiding in plain sight all along?